Sri Lanka is a land of beauty and suffering, where lush nature conceals stories of resilience and pain. The landscapes are both breathtaking and hostile, with golden sandy beaches giving way to dense forests and mist-covered mountains. The contrast is constant. A place where the blue sky meets the deep green of the hills. Yet beneath this idyllic surface, everyday life reveals challenges that few can imagine. In the interior, the fertile soil seems unyielding, but hides secrets of an ongoing struggle against the forces of nature. The tea plantations covering the hills, icons of prosperity, demand hard dedication from the workers, whose calloused hands harvest leaves under the scorching sun day after day, navigating steep terrain. For many, this is the only source of livelihood in a country where economic opportunities are limited outside the major cities. And yet, the beauty of these rolling hills is undeniable, as if each tea leaf tells a story of silent perseverance. Heading towards the forests, the vegetation becomes denser, sheltering rare and wild biodiversity. The country is one of the world's major biodiversity hotspots, home to species found nowhere else. Leopards lurk among the bushes, while elephants march along ancestral trails. It's a complex ecosystem, in a constant state of balance, where humans are just one among many inhabitants. But living alongside wildlife also comes at a cost. Elephants, symbols of Sri Lanka, paradoxically pose a threat to many communities. Conflicts between humans and elephants are frequent, especially when agricultural expansion invades these giants' natural habitats. In the southern plains, aridity takes its toll. Crops wither under the intense heat, and rivers dry up, forcing inhabitants to seek water from increasingly distant sources. For these people, time is measured by the cycles of rains and droughts, and a poor harvest can mean months of hunger. Nonetheless, the resilience of the Sinhalese people runs deep. They adapt, survive, and move forward like a tree growing even in rocky soil. The capital, Colombo, represents an even more striking contrast. The city is a melting pot of cultures, languages, and influences, with modern skyscrapers coexisting with ancient temples and chaotic markets. At first glance, it appears vibrant and prosperous, but this image quickly dissolves when observing life in the suburbs and slums. While the city centre thrives with foreign investments, the outskirts continue to be marked by visible poverty, where entire families struggle to access basic services such as healthcare and education in a country where social inequality is accentuated by uneven economic growth. Sri Lanka is also a nation with a history of deep scars. The civil war that lasted nearly 3 decades left indelible marks on the collective memory. For years, the sound of explosions and the echo of gunfire were a daily reality for millions. Even after the conflict ended in 2009, ethnic tensions between Sinhalese and Tamils remain latent, and the process of reconciliation is slow and full of obstacles. The battlefields are now rice fields, but the memories of those who lost loved ones do not fade as easily. The trauma extends beyond the scars of war. In 2004, the Indian Ocean tsunami swept away entire villages, leaving a trail of destruction and sorrow. To this day, coastal communities struggle to rebuild, while tsunami warning signs remain along the beaches as a constant reminder of what could happen again. Even amid so much suffering, the spirit of the Sinhalese people refuses to be defeated. They have rebuilt homes, opened businesses, and taken new steps toward the future, showing a resilience that defies logic. In addition to human hardships, Sri Lanka faces silent battles against uncontrolled tourism. The country is a coveted destination, with tourists drawn to its paradisiacal beaches and promises of adventure. However, the impact of tourism is visible in environmental degradation and the exploitation of natural resources. Sacred and ancient sites are being damaged, and coral reefs that once glowed with life now show signs of bleaching. The beauty that attracts millions is slowly being eroded, leaving the question of how much of this paradise can be preserved. Meanwhile, the local cuisine offers a glimpse of a rich and multifaceted cultural identity. Traditional dishes like rice and curry are prepared with a unique blend of spices reflecting centuries of commercial and cultural influence. The food is spicy and complex, but for many these dishes are a luxury. In rural communities, food insecurity is a constant threat, and diets are limited to locally available resources. While tourists savour culinary delights in the markets, locals often struggle to put a basic meal on the table. Despite all the challenges, Sri Lanka is more than its tragedies and problems. It is a place where life pulses with intensity, where folklore is passed down from generation to generation, and spirituality holds a central place. Buddhist temples scattered across the country are not only places of devotion, but also refuges for those seeking inner peace amid external chaos. Faith seems to permeate the air like a balm that soothes the scars of history. The journey through Sri Lanka reveals even more layers of a land that seems to be in constant transformation, shaped by the forces of time and the challenges imposed by nature and humans. Travelling through the southern region, characterized by vast plains and crystal-clear waters, one notices that life is governed by the ocean. For local fishermen, the sea is both a provider and a threat. The colourful boats lined up on the beaches appear peaceful, but testify to lives lived on the edge of survival. Fishermen face the daily uncertainty of waves that can either ensure a good catch or drag the boats to the bottom. Fishing traditions are passed down from father to son, but climate change is challenging this ancestral way of life, altering fish migration patterns and making navigation conditions increasingly unpredictable. Further north, the region of the ancient kingdom of Anuradhapura offers a glimpse into Sri Lanka's glorious past. The ruins of this ancient city, with its imposing stupas and artificial lakes built over 1,000 years ago, are a testament to human ingenuity in shaping nature and building lasting civilizations. These structures are not just historical monuments. They are living symbols of a culture that valued harmony with the environment, where water reservoirs served not only for agriculture, but also to regulate river flows and maintain soil fertility. However, modernity has brought new challenges, and the conservation of these historical sites faces the threat of mass tourism, which often prioritizes commercial exploitation over cultural preservation. Sri Lanka's economic difficulties have intensified in recent years, with a financial crisis resulting in runaway inflation and currency devaluation. Basic products like food and fuel have become inaccessible for many, and protests have taken to the streets, demanding political and economic change. The crisis exposed the country's vulnerability and the urgent need for structural reforms that could guarantee a more stable future. Amid all this, the spirit of the Sinhalese people remains unshakable. It is a society that, although marked by tragedies and challenges, always finds a way to adapt and move forward. Every corner of Sri Lanka tells a unique story, from the bustling markets of Colombo to the silent temples in the mountains. The natural and cultural beauty intertwines with the difficulties, creating a country that is both fascinating and complex. Sri Lanka is not just an island in the Indian Ocean. It is a place where the forces of nature and history shape lives, and where the struggle for survival is accompanied by a continuous search for hope and renewal.